This is David Dingender here at the Kensington Olympia following the press conference ahead of the fight card on Sunday, April the 5th, Easter weekend. MVP back, going to be on boxing for the first time on Sky Sports. I am here with Natasha Jonas, a fellow LJMU alumni, being interviewed by another LJMU alumni. First of all, how does it feel to be an LJMU alumni? I've got to ask her, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Liverpool's the best city in the world, and we've got the best universities to go along that. We've got the best nightlife, we've got the best programs, we've got the best courses. So I'm waiting to hear something good from you. I'm waiting to hear what you're coming with, because I know it's going to be something different, because Scousers like to be just a little bit different.
That's what I love, because Scousers love to be different, but they're very hospitable, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot throughout my time at uni. You know what the maddest story has been? I was on a night out one time, right? On my way somewhere in town, right? And I just see these two people just going at it, and the bouncer absolutely slapped the living daylights out of the person, right? And made that person bleed, and the person was like, why you do that to me? Oh my God, it's like, there's so many stories, right, that I could tell, but I've got to do a documentary someday in terms of Liverpool, because seeing from the outside, being there is mental. Like seeing fights almost break out, people trying to give it the big head. Oh, it's mental though. But
did you enjoy yourself?
I enjoyed myself though, to be
go.
fair. And like Liverpool is one of those cities where it was like people look out for each other. Like even when like you're like by yourself, someone want to be like, oh man, can I buy you a drink? Can I do this for you? Do that for you? They're one of the nicest people in the world, and I can't speak highly enough in terms of Scousers.
We appreciate you. Not everyone always has good words to say, but we think we're good. We think we're nice people.
100%. And you know what someone said, yeah, right? Someone was like, Liverpool is like Marmite. Either you like it or you don't like it. And I like it personally. And whenever I go back, it always fills me with good memories.
Feels like home.
It feels like home. I'm telling you, it feels like home. Does it feel like home here in London?
It's a bit different. London's a bit different. It's a lot busier. It's a little bit unfriendlier than Liverpool, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes when I'm in the tubes or the train station and I'm asking for directions, people are a bit hesitant to talk to you. Whereas if that happened in Liverpool, you'd know the person next to you's life story by the time you left the train station. So we are a little bit more friendly, I'd say.
100%. I agree with you on that one. Like even like when you're on the bus, it's like, oh, I need to get to this place. They'll be like, oh man, you need to go this way, you need to go that way.
Get to this pub, turn left at this pub, get to that pub, go that way. Yeah, so yeah.
I'm telling you, like Londoners, they're very much like this. They keep their heads down.
Yeah, but it's a tough city to live in. You know, the house prices are like quadruple and possibly even more. So to live here, you're working hard, you're paying way above the national average for everything. So I understand it.
But one thing I need to do is see a fight night. Well, I was there for your fight night in Liverpool. I was there for one of your shows late, like 2024, when you headlined. So the atmosphere in the fight scene in Liverpool is amazing. But I've got to ask you though, in terms of MVP, would you like to see MVP go up to Liverpool and do a show in Liverpool?
I think it always makes sense to do a north-south thing. It's whether they feel they can fill the seats. You've got to get some local talent on there to be able to do that. So yeah, I'd love to welcome Jake Paul. I'm sure the fans up in Liverpool would love to see Jake Paul in Liverpool and whoever he brings and the stable. So yeah, it would be great. I think, like I say, a north-south thing is always a good thing. And then give all the girls from the north the chance to be on the shows.
Absolutely. And are you going to try and convince Jake Paul to support the team that you support?
Of course. I'll get him in a box. He just has to say he'll come.
Really? Because now he's going to have to choose between Liverpool and Everton.
Oh, we're not going to have to choose. It's only Liverpool. He's not got a choice. He's not got a choice.
But speaking of giving fighters a chance from the north, an opportunity, how important is it for promotions like this to do that, really? Because obviously, Nelly Scotney and Caroline Dubois are from London, but you've got Terri Harper, she's from York, she's from up north, and you've got Chantel Cameron, she's from the Midlands. How important is it to give fighters from outside London the opportunity to be on this big stage?
It's imperative to help the sport grow. There's so many few shows to be on of late in the UK. Our domestic scene has suffered a lot with the Sky not being around for a long time. So you know, I'm glad to be back. It was a joy to see Johnny and Andy and everyone on the team to be back on, to have these fight nights and be back, and it's great that they're the first show back as a female card.
Absolutely. And talk to me about this female card, because it's such a stellar card and you've got some great fights on this card. Most notably, you know, Dubois and Harper. They've been at it in the Sky Studios. They've been at it here. Like, talk to me, you know, like there's a lot of animosity between the two.
Yeah, I don't think it's animosity as such. I just think Caroline fully believes in herself, and I think she believes that Terri doesn't. And I'm not mad at that, because some of the things that I see in Terri, I think Caroline's right. She does look nervous. She doesn't look as with the conviction that Caroline does, and she doesn't speak with the tone that she does. And I know she's not that person anyway, but you know, there's this.
Yeah.
There's this. She can't look her in the eye and be like, yeah, I do believe I'm going to win. There's a lot of unspoken words that are telling the truth, and I think Caroline's got a point when she says she doesn't believe in it.
And do you think it's all part of the mind games, really, when, you know, Terri does that? Or is it just a case of you can tell when a fighter's nervous, or you can tell when a fighter is not really, you know, like, not like confident, but like sort of lacking of it?
Yeah, no, it's definitely not a mind game thing. I don't think Terri even realises that she does it, but it was something that I definitely noticed in our exchange when we fought all them years ago, and it's, like I say, it's still happening to this day, so it's something that she just can't control.
Absolutely. And I'm not going to ask you predictions for that fight though, but do you think...
I think Caroline, so I'm not going to hide. I'm not an Andy. I'm not Andy. I think Caroline wins.
I think, well, we will see on the night, really. But in terms of Terri, obviously she's had some noticeable defeats as well. You know, do you think that sort of plays in the mind of every fighter, really? And do you think Caroline Dubois, you know, with the confidence that she had and the run that she's had, will look to exploit that?
No, I think defeats you learn from. That you can't hold on to them, because if you do, then that impacts you fighting, you know, for the future. You've got to learn what you did wrong and move on from that. It's just, as I think Federer says, it's just 1 point, and it's just one fight, it's just one round. And when things don't go right, you've just got to put it to the side and be like, okay, this round, this fight, it's a new fight, and you can't dwell on the things of the past, otherwise it'll affect your game going forward.
And do you think that's why Caroline Dubois has the edge in this fight? Because she's coming in on some very impressive wins, and you've seen some stuff with, you know, her and Alicia Baumgartner as well. Do you think it's a breath of fresh air to see someone like a Caroline Dubois who's full of confidence and carefree at the same time?
No, but I do believe that we need characters in boxing, and Caroline's developing into her own character. And I think whether that's intentionally or whether that's just who she always was and she just didn't never show it, I think that's something that she said on Sky earlier. She's always been that person. She just was kind of suppressed it. So if that's who you are, be who you are, because people will always smell a fraud. You've just got to be yourself and nobody else, and don't be apologetic for that at all.
And do you think it's hard sometimes for fighters to be themselves, because you've got social media, a lot of them are in the press? Do you think, like, in this day and age, it's difficult for fighters to sort of express their personality because of all of that, because of the scrutiny they're under?
I think so. I mean, it's hard to not offend everybody, and somewhere along down the line could be potentially offended or not like what you say, and there's a whole cancel culture that is easily activated once someone says something. So you have got to be very careful, but we are a business and we are an entertainment business. You've also got to play the game. So not everybody can be the nicey, good luck, see you on fight night, let's the fight. Not everybody can be that person. So like I would say, boxing needs characters, and as the sport grows and develops, we will get them characters, and Caroline's coming to be one of them.
And obviously you've got other fighters on the card as well. Ellie Scottney, you've got Chantel Cameron as well. How good is it to see, you know, Ellie Scottney and a Chantel Cameron also be given a chance in this card? And what does it mean for, you know, for each fighter to be on this card, and what you look to expect from the both?
Look, at the first fight on Sky in the UK, a female card, and it's your opportunity to shine. Yes, you've been on the Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano undercards, but this is your stage, your hometown, your city, and you've got to go out and prove your worth, because you want to be headlining the next one.
Absolutely. And do you think, when you look at Chantal Cameron as well, she's obviously had her battles with Katie Taylor as well. Do you think a fighter like that is sort of under the radar a little bit in terms of what she can do and what she can bring to the ring?
Yeah, I think Chantal's not a Caroline, so she doesn't say a lot. And she
Yeah.
doesn't put herself out there, and she doesn't really necessarily want to be in the limelight and in the press, and that's fine because that's who she is. Like I say, just be who you are. But the negative effects of that is that she does go under the radar because of it.
Absolutely. And obviously we won't keep you too much longer, but when you look at this venue, the Olympia hosting this event, obviously you had last year at the Royal Albert Hall, the all-female women's boxer card. How important is it for women's football, not women's football, how important is it for women's boxing, and women's sport in general to have that momentum throughout 2026?
I think there's so many iconic venues up and down the country that have held their own history within the sport, and now it's time for the women to start cementing their legacy with their history on their own backs and not off the backs of others. So, like I say, all-female card, big nights and big fights, big platforms. Go and make your history, and it's not off the back of somebody else. You're doing it for yourself.
Absolutely. And one last question from me, really, because we want to learn a bit more about you and what you're up to these days. Like any update in terms of you and what you're looking to plan to do throughout the rest of this year?
No, not really. I'm just happy to be back on Sky doing the commentary, sitting there outside of the ring, talking rubbish about everybody else's performance and not dissecting my own. So there's no plans to be back in the ring, but also I wouldn't never not say never.
Absolutely. And one thing that you love about being, as a commentator on Sky or looking to be on Sky, or being on Sky, I should say.
Yeah, you get the best seats in the house, and the pressure's off. So you're just commentating on everybody else's performance and dissecting things and putting things together, and it's no pressure on you to do anything.
And free food as well?
You do get free food, yeah. The food's good as well.
I love that. But on that note, it's a pleasure talking to you, Natasha.
Nice one, thank you.
And obviously we can't wait to see what you do throughout this year. And I can't wait to hear what you say on commentary as well.
Cheers, nice one, thank you.
Thank you.